You're watching Inside Automotive with Cheyenne Malone.
Hi everyone, I'm Cheyenne Malone. Customers just aren't trading in their vehicles as much as they used to, which means more vehicles are coming into the service lane. Today we're learning more about the headwinds happening in fixed ops today. Joining us to talk more about it, Ed Roberts, Chief Operations Officer at Bozard Ford Lincoln and author of Mile One. Welcome, Ed.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Talk to us about fixed ops at your station, your shop rather, in business today.
Well, like you said, customers are staying in their vehicles longer for various different reasons, unsure whether to make the EV switch or to keep what they have or whatever else, the interest rates the way they are. There's just all kinds of variables that's making them say, hey, let me just see if I can nurse this one along a little bit longer. And with that, it's allowed us, we've been focused on growth over the last 10, 12 years. But last year we grew fixed ops nearly 40%, and we're up to 105 technicians. I run 10 mobile trucks, on our way to 50 by the end of June. And the opportunities are endless if we focus on what we can do in our service departments and find ways to get creative and make ourselves more efficient.
And how do you do that? What's working best? Any examples?
Well, there's always pain points. There's always friction. There's always we got hours. Obviously, we got different shifts. For us, we have two-man teams. Where that team may be staggered a bit, where they can cover longer hours. One person comes in early, one person stays later. But historically we're open 8, 10, 12 hours a day in our stores, but the store is here for 24 and the customer demand is there. And if we don't meet our customers' demand, somebody else will. So it's about getting creative and finding ways to fill those hours to where we can have people here to take care of our customers.
What trends are you seeing starting to emerge for 2024?
Well, the last few years, we've all been hit hard with recalls, and recalls do fill our shop up. And that's where mobile comes in a lot for us, is because we can declutter the shop from some of those quick services that, quite frankly, take longer to process it than it does to do it. I can do those in field a lot easier than here. So it's preparing our shop for services that are more impactful to us and our customers.
And we obviously know the industry has seen, a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to service technicians. What are you doing at your shop to just, guarantee that you have some good people on staff? And then how do you retain them?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because our audience can certainly use that. The industry has been short on technicians for as long as I've been in the business, for 32 years now. We have a robust training program here where you have a career path when you come in, and it's not just for technicians, but that's what really gets the most light. We grow our advisors, we grow our salespeople, we grow all the people within. But there's a career path from the start in quick lane. Go to our tech development program, which our acronym for is TDP. But in the industry that means nothing, but it's our tech development program. And then they apprentice for a few months, and then they become a line tech. And so of those 105, 11 years ago, we had 7 technicians. And maybe about 10 of those additions has come from other stores, but the rest of them we have grew. So 65% of our technicians that we have here today are millennials or younger. And that bucks the trend in the technical space. And then also, we are still embracing EVs, even though it's slowing down a bit. That push is slowing down a bit. And that allows us to pull different people, because that gearhead is not necessarily somebody that wants to work on an EV. Mm-hmm. But a gamer or a techie person is. And so it's allowed us to broaden that field of who we can go chase after and say, hey, we can give you a career.
How do you keep them?
You got to build the right culture. And we are cultivators of culture every single day. And if you build the right culture, you might lose one every now and then because somebody paints a different picture and they've never been somewhere else before, so they don't know what to expect. But then when they come back, and you got to embrace them with open arms if they left for the right reasons. When they come back, it sends messages through the entire building that, hey, we do have it pretty good here, and we are a very culture-driven store. And when people come in, they want to be a part of it. In 2022, just to carry that further, our turnover rate was right at 2%.
Oh wow!
I did go up a bit in 23. It was right at 5%, but still. 9, you can divide the industry by 9 to come close to that. So I think the industry ran 46% in 23.
So you mentioned you have a lot of millennials. Do you believe that your school of thought when it comes to work ethic is different from millennials? If so, how do you bridge that gap?
Well, it's about engaging and connecting with them. And if you go back, let's go back even before you and I were born, and we had baby boomers, and they would find a job, and as long as you paid them, they'd stay there forever. They stayed there for their career. Maybe when they got to the point to where it's time to retire, they'd retire there and go find another one, do the same thing. And then let's skip a couple of generations and go to Zs and millennials today. They are not that way. They've been around computers all their life and their phones, and information's right there at it. So when boomers wanted to go look for a job, they physically had to go look for a job. Well, now it's all at their fingertips. Well, really, what they're doing is saying, I want to do more than what I'm doing. And so if we provide them the right career path, they'll chase the career path rather than chase the next position. And so if there's anything for the audience to take away, is make sure that you're providing your younger people a career path. And if you provide it for the younger people, you may be surprised at who that you didn't think would jump on it, would grab it and run with it as well. And you really find out what they're capable of.
Well said. What about as we look forward? We're into 2024. What are you doing, to make sure that you guys have a good year, strong year?
So remote services is our focus, and that's previously known. Everybody still calls it mobile service out in the industry. We want to shift it to remote services and field specialists and all those things. And we want to better prepare our shop for the work coming in. So rather than a customer calling us, wait until it can come in, and we diagnose the vehicle, order the parts, and then fix the vehicle. That from the time it diagnosed to ordering the parts to fixing the vehicle, there's 3 or 4 days involved there. Whereas I want to shift to where we can go to a customer, diagnose their vehicle, order the parts, and then when we bring their vehicle in, it's the same day repair. We're doing the repair on the vehicle, and it goes back out the same day rather than the whole process. So those are some of the other elements that we're doing to make our shop more efficient. And remote services is a big push for that for us this year to help expand our growth in service and also to make our shop more efficient.
And, my question too, in regards to that, what do you think is most important when it comes to your customers getting service? Is it convenience? Is it time? Is it everything?
Absolutely. And a lot of us are still pushing back against remote. We can touch on that in a moment, but it is convenience. Meeting customers on their terms. We have a pretty cool store here with a restaurant and all the other elements that goes along with it, but people still don't want to come here. This isn't the place where they get up and say, hey, I'm excited about going to a car dealer. So if we can take those pain points away and go to our customers and take care of their needs, because when I go to them to diagnose it, a lot of times I can fix it in field, don't even have to bring it in. But when I can go to them and it doesn't disrupt their day, I can go to them at their place of work or go to their home or whatever, they're never losing time. And then I stay top of mind when they are in the market and when things do shift and when interest rates come back around or whatever it is that pushes them back in market, then I stay top of mind for them to come back and start the circle of life all over again.
And you mentioned there's been some pushback with remote services.
The industry pushes back against
Really?
it because they feel like we can't make it pencil. And we have to look at it from the other side. How can I make it pencil? Figure out what your cost is, what your dead cost of doing business is. That becomes your break even. And then create a plan that gets you to your break even. And along the way of getting you to your break even, you can find efficiencies that carry you past that. So rather than say, I can't make it pencil, we can't make it pencil because we haven't tried it. And it's like driving an EV. We all have opinions about EV, but a good portion of us has never driven them, but we still have an opinion about them. And it's the same way with mobile service. We haven't stuck our toe in it, but we have an opinion about that's a lot of resistance. But also in addition to that, we've all struggled with putting the right people in our shops. And we think, well, I can't even fill my shop up. How can I put people out there? Mm-hmm. These are the guys, a lot of you, the audience knows that a lot of their guys, when they step out, they step out with a desire to open their own shop because they want freedom. Well, mobile service or remote services gives them that freedom without them having to put the expense out of creating their own business.
Makes sense. Any final thoughts for us today, Ed?
The 2024 is an opportunity for us to increase our VIN share. And if we increase our service VIN share, we will turn things around in a more rapid rate than you could ever see feasibly possible when things come back around. Customers, even though we may have special promotional rates where customers can come in and they get this vehicle for 0% or 1.9, when they look at their bank and they see that the interest rate is 8%, 7%, they are not even putting themselves in the market. if we increase our VIN share, we are going to be the ones that they think about when those things cycle back around and they put themselves in the market. And when we do that, then it'll start feeding our variable department. Our variable department will continue to feed our service department. So yes, we can't control interest rates, but we can control what we get done in service. And we can control that. We control our VIN share. And that's going to be our future business.
Good plan. Ed Roberts, Chief Operations Officer at Bozard Ford Lincoln. Thank you so much for your time today.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
And thank all of you for watching Inside Automotive. And we're now streaming on Roku and Apple TV.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Cheyenne Malone.